If you have been searching the internet as a composer, producer, songwriter, or even an artist, you have no doubt heard of royalty-free or what they call stock music licensing. Well, in this video, I'll be telling you about my experience with stock music licensing and how I got started with it, what libraries I approached first, and how I got accepted to each one of them, and how it has now become basically a way to make real music income. Hi, I'm Eric. I'm a full-time composer and producer, and on this channel, we only really talk about the things that we are actively doing to make music income, especially with music that we create. Over the last 3 or 4 months, I have been seeing $500 to $600 a month of income paid directly to my PayPal account. Now, this is money that all came from stock music licensing and putting my music up in these stock music libraries. This is pretty great since I only started doing this about 6 to 8 months ago. So what is stock music licensing? Well, basically it's music sold or licensed per use that is royalty-free for YouTubers or people needing music for videos or presentations. There are tons of videos that talk about what it is and how it works. But in this video, I'm going to try to go step by step with the stock music libraries that I approached and the music I put in them and how I eventually started to make music income every month. Now, each of these libraries works slightly differently, and we'll handle the reviews or intricacies of each stock library in later videos. Also, at the end of this video, I'll be talking about some of the experts in stock music licensing that you need to be learning from, because I have. So stick around to hear about that at the end of this video. You're going to want to learn all you can on how to make music income, and the way to do that is to subscribe here, subscribe to these other channels, and just do your homework. Follow what the professionals are saying, and especially the people who have made money doing this. So here's the beautiful thing about all of these libraries. The best part is that you can put your music up to these music libraries, and they are non-exclusive. That means you can put music up there that you have already had for sale elsewhere. Maybe you have music on Spotify, Apple Music, or on CDs that you sell. Or you just keep them out in your garage, and you know who you are. I know who I am. I also have them in my garage. You could literally be sitting on money like I was for years. So one thing that will help you get started, especially if you have recorded music already and you've put it out, or you've been working on creating some music on your computer, or you just have computer files that you have made through the years, and they are pretty good and they could be useful in a way that sits in a video in the background. You can use that back catalog to go right in these stock music libraries right now. This has certainly been the key for me to get a fast start on making income on these music libraries. I started with the back catalog from my jazz brand, Player A Jazz, my piano brand, Quiet Soul Piano, and different other songs and brands that I had recorded through the years, including demos and songs that had never quite made it out of the computer. Yet still, I have these songs just sitting there, just ready to do something. And so I have rescued tons of songs from all of these brands, and you can check them all out in the description below. I have links to all my brands and things like that. I'll also have a link to From the Moment Music, which is one of the sites I use to put all the new songs that I am working on for stock music licensing. You probably have a lot of this kind of previously recorded music sitting around too in some form. And that is the beauty about starting this way with stock music licensing. You don't have to just start composing out of scratch. You can go back to the things you've done before. The beautiful thing about making music income in this way is that almost any kind of music can be used by anyone, anytime, especially when people are putting together YouTube videos or corporate presentations. They could be looking for anything from instrumental music to love songs to patriotic songs. I've even had gospel songs and hymns and jazz and solo piano songs, and they have made music income for me on these libraries. The great thing about this is you just never know who is looking for what kind of song when. And so it pays to put your music out there where it can be found and have it make music income. Beautiful, passive income for you for just putting it up once in a library, and that's it. The best type of song for these libraries is definitely something that leaves room for a voiceover. So for instance, like the music you hear right now, that's the kind of music that you hear under my voice, and it has to be there, but it can't be too there, if you know what I mean. It has to be heard, but not heard. So the good news about this is there are video and presentations made where there can be more active music with melodies and even vocals sometimes. But in general, you need to be putting out music that is instrumental. So if you do a vocal song, you can still put it up on stock libraries, but make sure that you include the track, make sure you make other versions that are less busy that can be underneath a vocal and still work. I often upload drum and bass and non-melody, non-solo instrument versions all the time. I've even had libraries request just pads and unobtrusive loops before. So your song has to sit behind a video voiceover, and so make sure that it has a version of the song you put up that doesn't have too much going on in it, at least melody-wise and vocal-wise. Okay, so let's talk about the libraries. Almost everyone agrees that the big guns in stock music licensing are pond5.com and AudioJungle.com. These are the two I pitched my music to first and uploaded my songs to first and were accepted to first. It was kind of the beginning. I really feel like Pond5 especially is a great place for everyone to start. It may not be the place you get most of your sales, but I'll talk about that in a minute. I had already been on a site called songtrader.com since 2019. I actually have a video that I am planning on that site because I want to let you know how it works and what I think about it. I was able to make music income of over $400 in 2020 from SongTrader, mostly from business overhead music and some other uses of our catalog that we had up there. Now, again, I'll talk about that in another video, and when I do, it'll be right here. I may change my mind about how I work with SongTrader in the future. So when I do, I'll let you know. I joined Pond5, AudioJungle, and also applied to a site called 123rf.com and motionarray.com. Now for me, Pond5 has not made me that many sales over the last 8 months, although I have been paid twice by them, including $37 yesterday. So I can't really complain too much. But I do feel it is a great library to get your feet wet, learn how to upload music and what kind of things they require. It's a pretty good database for all the information and keywords and all that kind of stuff you're going to need to upload to other libraries. I'll talk about that in just a minute. One thing you will find is that while you can upload almost anything to these libraries, just know that your competition will likely be music written exactly for this use. In other words, it's music to sit behind things. So let's break down the parameters of this kind of music and what I've learned since I started uploading to these libraries about 6 or 8 months ago. In licensing, you tend to see 2 to 3 minute compositions. The most popular music style in stock music licensing by far is called corporate, which is really just repetitive, upbeat instrumental music that sits nicely in the background of any track, especially a corporate presentation. You're hearing that kind of music in the background of this video right now. I have found that pop, folk, and rock things, again, mostly instrumental, also do pretty well, followed by instrumental ambient music, which has done very well for me, including solo piano music. And that's the key. If you like to play piano, solo piano is not that hard to record and to mix. So after I began to upload all my jazz stuff and my piano catalogs, I decided to begin writing specifically for stock music. I focused on writing songs that were 2 to 3 minutes in length, instrumental background music in electronic and folk and piano and jazz styles. I started to do cut downs, which basically means making versions of each piece, but cut down for standard uses in licensing, especially for commercials like 60 seconds, 30 seconds, 15-second versions. And I've also started doing a loop where someone can use just this one loop that they can play as many times as they want behind the voiceover or behind the video. The beauty about doing these different versions is that with some libraries, like Pond5, you can sell these alternate versions individually and create multiple audio files and sales from the same song. These different versions have helped me put out over 1,000 audio files up across 15 libraries. Now, as I said before, I learned to do Pond5 first. I think it's easy to get in and a great place to store keywords, descriptions, and titles, and tempos, and all the other things that you're going to need when you start putting these in other libraries. It's almost like a database of sorts, and you can just access it wherever you are right online. So when I upload to other libraries, I can go back to my Pond5 account and find out that song's tempo and all the information I need to enter it into another library. I still do this, even though to this date, I've only had a handful of sales from Pond5, although I have been paid by them, so I'll take those. So I told you that I applied to 123RF and began uploading there. And the next month, in January of 2021, that library is what made me my very first sale for $3 whole. But it was still kind of cool. I mean, it would take hundreds of Spotify plays to get $3. And the song that was used, the song that I got paid for, was not even a song that I had out. I just found it on a hard drive. It was a jazz trio song I had done completely in MIDI, and it's had many sales since I put it up there. And this is the beauty of stock music licensing and why it's a great way to make music income. You can find stuff that has just been sitting around for years doing nothing, put it up there, and someone can find a use for it. I then applied to a site called AudioSparks and was accepted the same day. I've since made some pretty decent money with them, including 2 sales over $100. Most everything else in AudioSparks goes to the streaming thing, which pays like streaming. Still, I have been paid and it has contributed to my monthly income, including a payment of over $100 I just got this month. So you can't really complain about income from music that you just put up to a website. And that's the beauty about this kind of music income. Like I said, none of it was right away. It was a month before I made my first sale for $3. But soon I was getting other songs sold here and there. Pond5 and AudioJungle still don't make me a ton of money, and like any site, including something like Google or YouTube, someone has to search for the right parameters to find the song. People find songs by searching for a style, a subject, a tempo, a key, or some other keyword. It was 2 months until I made $100 with stock music licensing. But it was a start, and to be honest, just about every month has been an increase or has been a steady stream of income between right now about $500 and $600 a month. I was also accepted to a library called Dreamstime, but I didn't see any sales there for 4 to 5 months. I also applied and was accepted by VFine Music, Deposit Photos, Music Supervisor Pro, and Music Grid. Of those, so far I've only made any sales at Deposit Photo and VFine, and I haven't been paid by either one of them yet. The big change for me in this whole thing becoming a pretty decent monthly size income is 3 months into getting into stock music licensing, I was accepted into Motion Array. Now this is what they call a subscription library, since they only offer clients a monthly rate or a yearly rate for all that they can download. I do this myself. I am on Envato Elements and I download all the stock videos, images, sound effects, and more for just 24 bucks a month. You're hearing some of that and seeing some of that imagery and sounds in this video. The cool thing about Motion Array is I started making income the day I signed up. I mean, $2 that day and then $5 the next day, and every day it became regular income on a daily basis. So what you see here is some of the first few months on Motion Array, and that's not bad. And like I said in my last video, this is real income. So after that, I started to apply to more libraries. I applied to Enjoined 100 Audio, which, like VFine, is a library in China. I have also made income there, but I haven't been paid yet. Slowly, month by month, day by day, sale by sale, stock music licensing has become a real music income that has helped me and still helps me pay the bills. Just like yesterday, which was the 15th, or what we in stock music licensing call payday. For some reason, they all pay on the 15th of the month. I don't know why. So this is what this channel is all about. Can you imagine you produced music and you made an album, or you just made it on your computer and you upload it to a library, and then it becomes passive income that pays your car payment or even your rent? This is the dream, right? Well, this is the reality I am seeing with stock music licensing and the libraries paying me on a monthly basis. Like I said before, each library has its own ways, its own things that work and things that don't work. Some libraries won't accept a song and another library accepted that song, and vice versa. Some songs will do great on one library or all libraries, but not very well on another one. It's a crazy thing, but with consistent uploading, writing songs of all different genres and putting them up to all the libraries, plus adding in back catalog you may have, you can make this a good income stream if you put the work in. And there's a little bit of work in all the uploading and the tagging. There's certainly a bit of admin work in this. Be prepared for rejection. Most of these libraries, but especially AudioJungle and Motion Array, they could be very, very picky, and they are very careful in selecting the quality that they want to bring into their libraries. We're finding this more and more now. Okay, so this just touches lightly on this whole world of royalty-free stock music libraries. If you'd like to know more about my exact processes, I can probably detail those in other videos. As I said at the beginning of the video, I really want to highlight some of the absolute experts that I have learned from that can help you, like they helped me, make music income in whatever area we're talking about. First and foremost, you need to know about my friend Daniel at Stock Music Licensing. You need to subscribe to his channel right away, as long as you've subscribed to this channel, obviously. Daniel has great online courses and literally hundreds of YouTube videos to watch right now. He works very hard on this channel, and he's always bringing you tips and tricks and vlogs on lifestyle and motivation, all focused around stock music licensing. He has the latest information all the time on monetizing stock music licensing. We all kind of share back and forth. Did you hear this? Did you hear this? Did you hear this is going on? Did you hear about AudioJungle? You'll find his info in the description below, as well as in the playlist I have on stock music licensing. Also check out my friend Stevie B. He is a very talented composer in Canada, also an arranger and an artist. And he also has a great YouTube channel and offers a lot of free information, tools, software, and also, like Daniel, some great courses. You'll also find his info below. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, check out this video where I talk about all the multiple income streams that I have as a music composer and a producer, and in working with all of the music incomes that I have. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.